If you want to be able to buy the most expensive players and open the best packs in FC24, go to u7buy.com to buy your EA FC24 coins. It's cheaper than buying FC points and just as reliable. With their already amazing prices, you can get an extra 6% using promo code Inception at checkout. Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to another video. Guys, we have the new season pass, the new Futties season pass. Honestly, we need this promo, and we need this promo to be good because the last like 2 weeks for content has been very lackluster. It's been mostly just for like pack opening stuff because most of the cards that they released for SBCs were not too crazy. They released, I think, like maybe like 3 or 4 decent ones. Like there was Darwin, there was Weghorst. The icon SBCs were disgustingly overpriced for a lot of them, and then for some of them was decent, but they were just overpriced like crazy. So hopefully with the Futties releasing, they actually give us cards that are, you know, full meta, because at this point in the game it's very, very important to work with cards that are full meta. It's the last 2 months of the game. I think releasing sentimental value FC cards is not really going to be the go-to, right? So we do have the new Futties season to check out, so we are going to be taking a look at some of these cards. Some of the end game like cards you can get from this are definitely very nice, and they could potentially be one of the best cards like we've ever received, right? So obviously the first one here is going to be Fabinho's card. I could see this card being an absolute monster, to be honest. He has the crown on his head, so I'm assuming this is going to work the same way as it has in the past, where when it comes down to like the Futties players having the crown, they get the chemistry links, which is very important because that allows you to pretty much use him in most of your teams, right? Which is really, really cool. This card on a shadow chemistry style is a controlled lengthy player. He's going to get really good pace, really good defensive capabilities. Playstyles wise, they even gave him like a press proven, right? So with CDM, it's really hard to come by really good CDMs unless you actually go through some of these season pass objectives. For instance, Tony Kroos was absolutely incredible, or not was, but he is absolutely incredible. One of the best selections when it comes to that specific role, right? So with Fabinho, they gave him all the right stuff, right? They gave him all the right defensive stuff. They gave him all the right passing stuff, and he can actually dribble on the ball with the press proven. So I'm not really sure where the dislikes are coming from when it comes to this card, because he looks fantastic as one of the first initial objectives. Definitely looks very, very good. A couple of other things here. We have Dries Mertens. I think a lot of these cards are going to be worth reviewing, even just to get them initially, like in comparison to the previous season, because these guys get chemistry links easily in your team, right? So Dries Mertens, obviously a foot legend, 5'7" high, 5-star, 4-star, already looking pretty decent on the card. Playstyle plus is got finesse shot plus, which is pretty cool. Would I specifically use him in the left-sided area? No. You see how he's an actual center forward, and he actually has the cam position change. In order for you to utilize some of his playstyles, I feel like he'll be best utilized in the actual cam position, right? Because if he can actually dribble really well in game, which really depends, because in this game it's highly dependent on the playstyles and stuff, to be honest, more than it is the dribbling stats most of the times. He also has a press proven, so even I know EA be watching, because they know they have to do this to their players nowadays to actually make them at least a little bit more responsive, because the dribbling stats are not enough, right? So in Mertens' case, he gets the press proven. He can actually dribble nicely. The card is well formatted for the Hunter chemistry style to boost the pace as well as the shooting. But what makes this card very interesting is the fact that he also has defensive stats. So with a card like this, there are certain formations where if you have a cam that has defensive stats, it's really, really nice to work with. Like some of the formations and custom tactics that we review, it's always ideal to use those sort of cards. Like sometimes I'll use like a Jude Bellingham in the cam position just because I want a card that can attack and defend, but this is going to be a good example of someone that you can use in that specific area that will be able to cook, to be honest, right? So definitely looks really good. Again, most of these cards look like they're probably going to be worth doing the reviews for, even the female players, because honestly, they actually released some pretty decent ones, right? Like Rayton or Reeton. She gets a very significant boost. She also gets defensive stats as well, right? So there's different ways of being able to use this card. She is a 5-star weak foot player, which is a really cool thing because she has a bunch of side position things, right? So in her actual natural position, left wing, she has a 5-star weak foot to work with the finesse shot to be able to cut inside, but still go for shots across goal with her 5-star weak foot. I just noticed she's left footed, so never mind. She'll actually be able to cut inside You can play her anywhere then. So you can play her on the right hand side to shoot with her strong foot, or you play her on the left hand side for the shots across goal on the left side or the left foot, while still being able to hit the right foot finesse shots too. So that actually looks pretty cool, right? All the play styles that she's working with, definitely very nice as well. A lot of really good stuff. In-game attributes, well formatted, I would say, for the Hawk chemistry style as well. Yeah, so the Hawk chemistry style for this card would be formatted like this, right? So very good shooting, physical stats increase, pace stats increase, and she also has defensive stats. So again, the usability of these cards, you know, if you have some of these guys on the side positions and then you use them on a comeback in defense, for the meta of the game, it works out very nicely, right? It's always nice to have attackers that do actually have defensive stats because they're defending when you're actually manually working those spots. It doesn't come off that great. So having a few stats here and there definitely can be a very, very helpful thing. Moving on with the season, let's see what else we have here. So we have Udogi. Udogi's a good card too. This is actually a very solid card to get. Yeah, on an anchor chemistry style, really well formatted. Is this card let me see here. Is he a lengthy on an anchor? He's a controlled player on an anchor, which is still fine, to be honest. A press proven probably as well, right? Oh, I'm surprised. Like, I thought they were gonna like do it to everybody, but as a defender, this is perfectly fine, right? All the playstyle pluses are huge W's. Long ball pass, big deal to work with in the fullback position. Jockey as well. Intercept, quick step, really good. He's got a bruiser to work with, block with, pass. Bunch of really cool stuff, right? So again, another W card as well. I think all these Futties cards are gonna be like really cool in their own ways, right? Like these are cards that are very, very competent to use in the meta of the gameplay. I didn't even realize they actually released a Diani card too. Please tell me she's not formatted for an engine again. Like, I just want to give her a Hawk. I'm not gonna lie, it might be an engine flex again, unless they gave her like the playstyles. A regular trickster. No press proven on her. Yeah, because I'm telling you guys, like, even with the female players before that one patch, like, it would be fine with their dribbling, but nowadays, I'm telling you, like, without the play styles, like, you want to be able to just make them dribble as quickly as possible. Honestly, I'd still probably give her an engine, even with her shot power being lower, because her base finishing is still at a 97, and that's what I do with her Team of the Season card during that time period anyways. So on the engine, she would get a pace boost, a dribbling boost, the shooting would be at a 97 for finishing, passing stats would be in a good area. She has some defensive capabilities, so technically you could give her an anchor and use her as the attacking center mid if you want, because she even has the whipped pass plus, right? So still looks like an interesting card for the most part. Oh, this season goes on. There's a bunch of players in this that we're gonna check out. Aubameyang, let's see what Aubameyang looks like. Okay, so nothing to make his dribbling better, so this is more of like the running type of physical type striker when it comes to being able to score opportunities, right? So he's got the rapid plus, he's got the 5-star weak foot, high low work rates, finesse shots, rapid, first touch, and a tiki-taka. A card that is, I feel like when cards are formatted in this way, it doesn't make sense to boost certain areas. Like, I don't even know what you would give him. I guess like a Deadeye, right? No. I would still give him an engine. Yeah, I'd still give him an engine. The pace boost is not the relevant thing. It's giving him the extra passing while also giving him the extra dribbling, because he doesn't have any playstyles to make his dribbling more responsive. So just to make it a little bit usable, you know, you get some improvements here and there. Honestly, it looks like a pretty cool striker if you're using him as like a one of two strikers on the left-hand side, because he has the finesse shot plus, obviously, which is a big deal. But he also has like 99 jumping, 99 hitting accuracy. He does have a regular aerial, so he can win those opportunities in the air with a power header, right? So not the plus versions, but those would still be good enough to utilize, right? So physical type attacker like this, if you're playing like 4-3-2-1 and you use him as like a left forward, especially in that 4-3-2-1 that we recently reviewed from Oli Lito, it would definitely be a really, really nice thing for sure. What else we got here? Ansu Fati. Ansu Fati needs a dribbling boost. Let's see. Okay, so they didn't give it to him either. So he's still going to have a physical side to his dribble for sure. Like I said, guys, it's very easy to read the cards now. Especially in his case, this is a marksman flex for sure. 100%. He's a 5-star, 4-star player. So in his case, you would give him a marksman chemistry style increase the dribbling, the shooting, and the physicality of the card. No dribbling boost, so this is definitely a card that you want to use in the side position as much as possible, most likely on the right-hand side, because he doesn't have the finesse shot plus. He does have a regular finesse shot, but he does have a regular Trivela as well, so it'd probably be a card you work with the right-hand side as much as possible. Does he have that position change? I think he has striker, doesn't he? Yeah, he does have striker, so again, usability is there as well, because technically you can use him as your quote-unquote physical type striker. The reason I'm saying quote-unquote is because he is 5'10", but yeah. Oberdorf with press proven plus. Holy. Rashford. Did they ever boost his dribbling? Let's see. Ah, dude, they just never... They don't want to boost these guys. They don't want to boost their dribbling. They're still going to be good in game, for sure, but they just don't want to boost their dribbling, bro. End game. You gotta give at least a regular EA. Your game, you know how your game works. You gotta give at least a regular press proven. Not a play. You don't have to give the play style plus, but a regular press proven at the very least, man. The way your game plays out. But anyways, Rashford gets a new card. This is why people are actually disliking it, because people are not stupid, and they're getting used to what the meta actually is in this game, right? They're getting used to it. They're not stupid. They know that they need these small things to make the cards actually like cards that can move in game, you know? Like, I'm telling you guys, when I use players that don't have press proven or trickster plus, like, it's very annoying. I'm telling you this right now, bro. Like, even Griezmann, I did the review for Griezmann, and Griezmann, you guys know, before that one patch, I'm all over Griezmann. Griezmann's my guy, right? After the patch, no chance, bro. There's no way I'm using that card over some of the other cards that exist. Like, you need these playstyles now, man. At least for me, that's just how I work. I know people don't really care about the left stick stuff as much as possible, but no, I do, man. I'm really big on that stuff. But anyways, Rashford, again, I would say formatted for the engine chemistry style. You need to boost his dribbling as much as possible, as well as his pace and his passing capabilities. His shooting is still going to be in a pretty decent area. I could still see him being good, right? Like, you just use these guys as the physical type attackers, right? 6'1", doesn't, you know, dribble that well on the left stick specifically, but he does have the 5-star skills, so you can still cook with this card, of course, right? Like, it's not going to be like a card that's going to be terrible by any means, right? Next up, we have Oberdorf. Never tried out her team of the season card. Some people actually liked it. I just never really got to it. She is a card that is very obviously formatted for the shadow chemistry style, right? Definitely need to boost her sprint speed as much as possible, because that part of the card is extremely low. On a shadow, she would get the defensive boost and the pace boost. So she seems to be the aggressive type CDM, where you're just constantly moving her left and right to be able to defend the opportunities. Playstyles wise, she does have a regular intercept, so the way that she looks like in game, in my honest opinion, is that she looks like the type of player that you don't specifically play in the actual CDM position by yourself, because at this point you need like the bigger guys and stuff. Like, for me, I think Fabinho and stuff make more sense. But with Oberdorf, like, if you're playing a formation like a 4-3-2-1 and she's your right center mid on the stay back cover center instruction, that's where I feel like she would cook, right? Because she has a press proven plus, she has some passing stuff, she does have a regular anticipate, the regular intercept, but they definitely could have done a better job with her sprint speed. At this point in the game, that stuff needs to be bigger, or the stat itself needs to be bigger, considering the fact that we have players that are really meta, that are lengthy, that have the high pace as well, right? So definitely need to look into that for sure. But it is what it is, boys. All right, let's see what else we have here. So we have a couple of level ups. This card, on a personal level, I'm probably gonna like this card a lot. I never did her review for the team of the season card, but this card is the definition of someone that if you use her as that role that I'm telling you, where it's like attacking oriented center mid, or the cam that can attack and defend in like a 4-3-3, like, you know, the 4-3-3 that rocks the cam position. Like, if you use that formation where like some attacking set people set up, they have like that player that can attack and defend, and some people use like a 4-1-2-2 that does the same thing, yada yada yada. Bro, she was amazing. I'm talking like good attacking AI. Her dribbling came off really nicely. Like, this Bonmati card is sick. And you know what's funny is that she did have a point in this year where I didn't think she was that great. You know, I was like, whatever. Like, I wouldn't rate her over like Putellas, even though they kind of downgraded Putellas in this year's game, or not this year's game, but like they didn't do as well as they could have with Putellas, in my opinion, right? In certain situations. I don't know about her recent cards after the Winter Wild card, but the Winter Wild card wasn't as impressive as I feel like it should have been, right? But with Bonmati, when I used her as a team of the season, I'm telling you, this card was sick. You know that role that I'm telling you where it's like attack and defend? and sometimes I put Bellingham there, she was significantly better in that role over Jude Bellingham. But Jude Bellingham for me is like that card that I love on stay back cover center for that 4-3-2-1 and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But this card is like, you use her as the attacking center mid, she cooks, bro. Her attacking AI is like all over the place, bro. It's amazing, right? So I think she's gonna be amazing. I don't care if she has the dribbling stuff or not. I still feel like she's gonna cook. She has a lot of really, really good stuff to work with too. So I think she's gonna be really, really cool for me personally. We have Garincha. Garincha, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I wasn't too crazy about Garincha this year, man. I think he had a shapeshifters, or what is this green one called again? I don't remember what this thing is called. Winter wild card. He had this card. I wasn't like too crazy about this card. I did use him on some people's accounts, and I'm like, oh yeah, he's pretty decent, but he's not as good as I feel like he should have been. You know what I'm saying? But this card looks a little bit wild, right? And they know this, bro. They know this because look at what they did to him. Oh, look, Trickster Plus all of a sudden, right? Trickster Plus, he'll be able to dribble, right? He's got regular finesse shot. He has a bunch of ball control stuff. So I would assume his dribbling is going to be great to work with because look, it's significantly more agile when strafe dribbling. You see that part right there? That's why it's this or a regular press proven or a press proven plus. I'm just saying, bro. But anyways, this card well formatted for the anchor, or not the anchor chemistry style, but because, well, technically speaking, he does have defensive stats. So if you really wanted to do that, you could, right? But it's obviously a card you give a Hawk chemistry style to use him specifically on the right-hand side and just cook with him. Like, he looks really, really good. Like, this card I feel like would be an absolute monster in game, to be honest, right? I think there's a lot of really, really good stuff to look into when it comes to Garincha's card. And now, for the final card, we have this absolute monstrosity of a player where they gave him the proper stuff to make him potentially one of the best attackers that we have ever seen in Ultimate Team in general, right? And why do I say this? Because this card, by default, is already a running merchant, right? He's an R-trigger merchant by default. So that part of the card is already cleared. But guess what else this card has? Now he's a 5-star player. He's tall, but he's tall that can dribble now because he has a press proven plus. Okay, press proven plus, which makes a huge difference in the game nowadays for responsiveness, right? And what else does the card have, right? On an engine, look at where his dribbling stats is at with the press proven plus, right? And he also has an aerial plus to work with a regular power header while working with 99 heading accuracy and 99 jumping with fantastic physical capability. So this card genuinely has the potential to be one of the best attackers we have ever seen in Ultimate Team, especially with the way that they format the playstyle pluses. And listen, I'm gonna tell you guys straight up, they have gameplay people at these studios that know what they're doing when they're like, oh, we're gonna make this card actually meta, we're not gonna make this card that meta. They know what they're doing with these cards, right? So with Holland, they're in a way trying to make him as perfect as possible. Let's be real. Like, if you use this card, I can see a pro player utilizing this card at some sort of tournament and using him in the left forward or right forward position, however way they format their 4-3-2-1, and just toss crosses to him with the whipped pass plus, bro. That's what they're gonna do with this card. So yeah, with most of these cards, we're gonna probably review most of them, to be honest with you. I don't think like Oberdorf, probably not as much maybe as in comparison to the other cards. Like, the other cards I feel like will be interesting for people. She could be interesting. You know why I say she's not that interesting is because people have to use like German players or the Bundesliga players and stuff, and people are not going to be like super about that as much, right? But yeah, definitely looks like a good footy season. I'm going to say I kind of like the other one as well. I think the last 2 seasons have definitely been very good. It makes the game interesting for the most part if you actually do complete the objectives. So yeah, a lot of good stuff to look forward to if you actually do grind out this season pass. A lot of really cool players to look forward to. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy this video today. I'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace out, dudes. Love you guys.